had in the previous demo. But now, if you look at the rules table, we have additional rules to show the URL filtering capability, where we will block the access to one of the social media websites, suppose facebook.com from compute instance 1 and to yahoo.com from compute instance 2. Also, it is important to note that since we are opting to deny specific traffic, we need to allow access to other websites at the end, and the order of the rules matters. And if you do not add this particular rule, the network firewall will by default deny everything at the end if no rules are matched. The deployment steps will remain the same. First, we create the network firewall policy, but this time we will not create a new policy, but we will clone and edit the existing policy, and then attach that updated policy to our network firewall. All our routing configurations have already been performed, so we will skip this particular step. So now let's go to the console, and first we will navigate to our network firewall policy. Here we will edit the network firewall policy 1 by cloning the policy. Once the clone copy is ready, we can edit the policy. Now for this use case, we need to block certain URLs or access to certain websites. For that, we need to allow or deny access to protocols like HTTP and HTTPS on port 80 and 443. So to allow and deny ports on layer 4, we need to create service. Click create service, and we will create the first service for HTTP protocol. Name it as HTTP service, TCP protocol and port 80. And then we will create one more service for port 443. Service name will be HTTPS service, TCP protocol, port 443. Now both the services are ready. We will add them to service list so that we can apply same actions for both services. Click create service list, provide the name HTTP and HTTPS service list, select both the services and add to selected, and then create the service list. Your service list will be created with two services. Now we will create the URL list and add the websites we need to block from VM1 and VM2. First, for VM1, click create URL list, provide the name VM1 block websites, and then enter the website URL that you want to block, www.facebook.com, and on the next line, I will use the wildcard *facebook.com to block all subdomains. Create URL list, and now we will create another URL list for VM2. Name will be VM2 blocked websites, and website URL www.yahoo.com, and same *yahoo.com for subdomains. Now both the URL lists are ready. Next, we will not add any IP address as we already have the IP address list created for internet host and for both VMs. So we will go ahead and configure the rules to block access to the websites from VM1 and VM2. Click create rule, provide the name block URL VM1. Source will be our IP address list of VM1. The destination can be any IP address, keep any application, and select the service we created for HTTP and HTTPS. Next, under URL, select the VM1 blocked website list that contains the website that we want to block from VM1. From action, select drop traffic. This rule will block access to facebook.com from VM1. Similarly, we will add one more rule for VM2. Create rule, provide the name, block URL VM2. Source will be our VM2 list, and any destination, any application, and again select our HTTP and HTTPS service list. And under URL, select the block website list for VM2. Action will be drop traffic, and then add our rule. Since we have denied specific URL traffic, we must allow access to other websites from VM1 and VM2. If you do not add this particular rule at the end, the network firewall will by default deny everything if no rules are found. That means our VMs will not be able to access any websites. So we add new rule to allow access to other websites. And this will be a common rule for VM1 and VM2. So I will select both the list in the source. Destination can be anything, any application, and then we will include our HTTP and HTTPS service list. This will only allow HTTP or HTTPS traffic, and no other services will be permitted. Now the URL can be any URL, and action will be allow traffic. Most importantly, the rule should come after what we have denied, as we know the order of the rule is important. Now our policy is ready with the updated rules. We will attach it to the network firewall. edit and select our clone copy or updated copy. It will take few minutes to update the network firewall, and then we can test our URL filtering configuration. Our network firewall is active. I go to my terminal on the local machine and SSH into VM1. And now I'm going to use the curl command to access the blocked website first. And as you can see, we are not getting any response. And now if I try it for any other website, I will test it for Wikipedia, and you can see we got the response. Similarly, you can verify this on VM2. Also, you can go to traffic logs and see which rules are applied for allowing and denying our traffic. This indicates that network firewall is successfully blocking the website entered in our blocked URL list. So to wrap up, now you know how to utilize network firewall's URL filtering capability and to control access to websites.